Hello, I am Tyler Mastrangelo, and I'm here today to discuss what employers can do and what they shouldn't do to try and avoid unionization. So it is known that U.S. corporations would prefer to be non-union, but I'm going to go through a list of reasons why employees join unions and how to prevent employees from forming unions. I will also get into some tactics employers can use to stop unionization. So the first thing I'm going to get into is reasons why employees join unions. So employees join unions because there's some sort of dissatisfaction with how management treats employees, and that there's a belief that a union can make for better conditions in the workplace, such as better wages, better benefits, more time off, a better place to work, better work conditions, anything along those lines. The company can be perceived as unfair, unresponsive, or offering substandard working conditions to employees. And in a survey of American workers, 63% reveal that they would want more influence over company decisions that affect their job work or work life. These individuals indicated that they would enjoy their jobs more if they were involved in decision making. So I'm going to get into now how to stop employees from forming unions. So there should be fair and consistent policies and practices set in place, and the employers should emphasize these policies and practices and the culture that they already have in place to better the work environment. There should be policies like open door management, for example, that they are encouraged because the employee doesn't feel like the employee doesn't feel like the employer doesn't want to deal with their problems, or that the employer just doesn't have time for them. So another extremely important thing is that there needs to be competitive pay and benefits. If there isn't competitive pay and benefits, if the market is right, then the employee can just try and find a new job that offers these pay and benefits that they're looking for. Another thing that is important is that employee trust and recognition. Because if you don't trust your employees, the people who run your business, they most likely don't trust you, and that's never a good thing. Just by stopping in and saying hi, recognizing that you care for your employees, goes a really long way. So another um, thing employers can do to stop employees from forming a union is that they can try and have good relationships with their employees and address their concerns. They are likely to look for union representation if the employers are meeting their concerns. In these types of workplaces, there is no need for employers to try and create a union if the employer is meeting their concerns. So, your employees won't even dread coming to work every day if they're being treated like they're supposed to. So, goes back to fostering good relationships. Your employers should talk to the employees and why they think the workplace can do without the union. This gives the employer a chance to hear the employees without going through union representation, which can be a hassle for both sides. The employer can hear the employees out and can try and make some of the changes. If he can't follow through, then unionization is the answer. So employees should find little value in union representation if the employer actually cares about their employee and is fair and honest to them. So I'm going to go through some things employers can't do, which would be union suppression. So union suppression involves the following that I'm going to go through. The employer can't fire employees or harass them for supporting a union. The employer can't screen out pro-union applicants during interview phases. It's extremely unethical. You can't close your plant or file for bankruptcy to prevent a union from forming. You can't use permanent strike replacements, which is when your employees are on strike and the employer wants to keep the employees he hired, which would be the replacements, while his other employees were on a strike. You can't invest in non-union sites, and you can't subtract or outsource your employees while you still have the employees under contract and they want to form a union. So what employers should use is union substitution. Union substitution also involves a list of things that I'm going to get into right now. So employers should use above market pay and benefits to encourage employees to stay at their company and not look elsewhere for a job. If there are good pay and benefits and the employees are treated fairly, the employer shouldn't want to form a union or look elsewhere for a job. Employers should always be on the lookout for opportunities for his or her employees. As a manager, it is your job to develop and grow your employees to better your company. The employer should be respectful while supervising and not be overly aggressive. There should be a complaint of grievance procedures set in place in case an employee needs to talk to someone or something along those lines, or he gets fired and he wants to find out how the employer can help him find a new job or something like that. There should be some sort of employment security. This is extremely important to Americans these days. There's nothing more, when you're looking for a job, Americans really need that security that they're going to have that job. They don't want to go into a job and maybe be out after a few months or even a year. There should be some sort of participation mechanism set into place to make the workplace a better environment, and so that everyone gets to know each other better. This goes back to fostering relationships. So I hope you enjoyed my video and can use some of the advice that I offer today. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you watching and listening.